Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host here, Dr. FM, Dr. Francis Munangi Mpindu, on Luvbay Afrobeat Music and Talk Radio, your number one global African Caribbean online radio station. And we are so delighted that you joined us. We were having technical difficulties, but we need to jump into the topic before us today. By the way, we go live every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which would be 6 p.m. for Norbert, who we're going to be talking to today. He is all the way in Uganda, in a place called Nakivale. You might have to help us to actually pronounce that. I'm not too sure, because sometimes the K in Luganda, or I think it's Luganda, it's pronounced as chi, and so I need to make sure that we're pronouncing that clearly. But thank you so much for joining us. And we go live in over 100 different countries on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have Norbert Biambo Kagosi. I'm not too sure which comes first, but he has like three names, and sometimes they're used interchangeably. But we're so delighted to have an opportunity to speak with this young man today. He has an amazing story, a story that's going to grip our hearts, to understand some of the complexities of displacement, or we might just say being a refugee um, in Africa. And we do have serious problems in many of our African countries. And so today we're delighted to have someone who has a lived experience. This young man is going to give us his story so that we get to understand what is happening. And we trust that some of you out there who are connected to governments and different organizations that make things happen, we trust that you're going to be listening to this very carefully, so that as we dialogue, we're going to discover, so that we decide on the next steps and be able to address the issues around refugees across Africa. So, Norbert Biambo Kagosi, we're so glad that you joined us today. So, I know that this is a story that is very close to your heart, because it's not something you read in a book. This is something that you have experienced, and you are a young man. We connected a few years ago, and you were even much younger then. And now it's wonderful to see you developing as a young man, taking on various responsibilities. But Norbert, just allow us to understand what happened for you to be able to leave your beloved land, the DRC. What happened there that you had to flee?
Uh, Thank you so much for this wonderful time, and it's my pleasure to be here. And sorry for the connection. Sometimes we don't handle the things of network. And let me first try to introduce myself. This is Norbert Biambo Kagosi, a refugee living in Uganda. From and I work with New Talent for the Best Future. I came here in Uganda as a teenager, and the reason why pushed me to be here, there are like more than five reasons. But we are going to talk about war and insecurity and perennial conflict uh, in my country. I'm a co-founder here, and also I'm a program manager, a peace builder as well, a conflict resolution trainer here in Akival refugee camp. And we are talking about something deeply human, and something that speak to our shared dignity and our shared pain, our shared hope. So first of all, as far as I'm concerned about of today, um, Displacement is more than a word. It is a story of people that are living here, and also me as well. I'm living here as a refugee. As I said, I came here as a teenager, a little young boy, and I started connecting with other people around the world. And the first person I connected to, it is Dr. Francis Mpindu, and he has been my mentor. He has been my father, and he has been really someone who has shown me how I can live with other people and how I can be a leader. So, as you have said, um, this is a story for people, and it also concerns me. It's a story for mothers, fathers, children, as well their families, forced to leave behind their lives they once knew. So, first of all, I fled the country because of the perennial conflict back in Congo and also insecurity, which is affecting the eastern parts of DRC. And even up now, the conflict within tribes, the conflict within people, it is raising each and every time. Things like this group ethnic is more valuable than this one. And that one is make people to come to Uganda and also to look for a safety. And today I would like our our listeners here, not like to be observers, but as fellow human beings with hearts feel that voice, and that voice can be so. Back in Congo, we are having 450 and 50 languages and 50 tribes. Uh, as you know, Congo is very big. DRC is very big, and we have different languages and different people over there. But people to come together, it has really affected eastern part of the DRC. And you find like now we are living, there is a conflict that is happening right now. Like these people, they are not recognizing them as the current government that are they are not Congolese. And these ones also they are more valuable than other Congolese. So that is what the rebels are coming with. That let me say with that reason. Like for now we are talking, there are some big parts which have been taken uh, by the rebels. Those big parts can be very free. So each and every time they are killing people over there, each and every time people are being displaced, and also people are not living the way how they really have like to live. So like many Congolese, not only Congolese, because here we are having like seven nationalities here in Akiva refugee camp. We are having Somalians, we are having Koreans, security, as me also I feel, because it happens a home and some unknown people they came and they kidnapped some of the family, but and up to here in Uganda. Also, villages like some of the villages back in Congo, they are being burned and the gun shoots in the night, and also people are not really uh, considering like when you find someone is coming or is going to a country where is going to look for a refuge, it doesn't mean that it does not like his country, but is only looking for one word, and that word is peace. So, and that one has really affected one story. Uh, like you find some of the people they came walking, carrying only what they could hold, and also babies on their backs, memories in their hearts, and the fear in their eyes. Some crossed and the lakes to reach Uganda, just praying only for one thing, peace. So that's one is just like in general, let me say in short, what happened to me to be here in Uganda, and also one year in Uganda, I didn't really live to be like a lamb. I had to do something. That's why you can see today I can also present something on um, uh, on the radio also as well. By the time talking, my young brother and my sister, they have also fled the country because the rebels they they think also to be there, and also insecurity like today someone has died, tomorrow after tomorrow after tomorrow, and also they are targeting the youth. They are targeting the youth are being eliminated because they know with the youth something can happen. That's why I also one of some of my family member families have also escaped from where they are living to just look for safety. So thank you for that question.
Mm. Thank you very much, Norbert, for taking us through some of the experiences that you have had. And it's really, really sad to see you as a young man live in your own country, your own beloved country, Congo, the DRC, and now
I can't hear
being,
you, please.
you can't hear me? I am actually on, so I don't know what's happening here. Our engineer, is there any difficulty with my mic?
I can't hear you, please.
Mr. TYB, can you hear me? Sounds like we're having technical difficulties here. I guess when we work with technology across nations like that, sometimes we end
I
up
can't
with
hear.
difficulties.
I can't hear
Mr.
anything.
TYB, yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, but you are not hearing me. Mr. TYB, is there a problem with my mic? Mr. TYB is our chief engineer. Don't know if oh boy. Can you hear me now, Norbert? I don't know what's happening here, Mr. TYB.
I'm sorry, doctor. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I
May you please unmute yourself? I can't hear you.
yeah, I'm actually unmuted. I am unmuted, but I can hear you, but you can't hear me. So I don't know what's happening here. Mr. TYB, is there a problem with my mic?
But
Mr. TYB, is there a problem with my mic? He can't hear me. Okay, so okay, Norbert, you exit and then come back. You leave and then come back. Okay. Um, we are talking here with Norbert Biambo Kagosi, a young man who is a refugee from the DRC, who is settled now in Nakivale settlement um, camp in Uganda. And he is just narrating his story and letting us hear some of the things that have contributed to him leaving his nation. He talked about war, he talked about security, and he talked about the perennial conflict. And obviously, I'm hoping that you can hear me now. Okay,
yeah, I can hear you
excellent.
now.
All right. So I was just recapping some of the things you have shared with us that because of war, because of security, and because of the perennial uh, um, presence of conflict in the DRC, you fled the country. And you also mentioned that um, displacement is very, very difficult. People have left with only what they can carry, and sometimes with that with just the children on their backs. And then you settled in Uganda, and you're saying that you don't want our listeners and our uh, um, viewers today to be observers. You want them to be participants. Now, how long have you been in Nakivale now?
Uh, I've been here in Akiva for 7 years, and I'm going 8 years. I came here in 2018.
Okay, so 2018 you've been there. Now, since you've
Yeah.
been there, what is there an increase in the refugees, or the number is kind of steady? Are people still coming to Nakivale? I know that that may not be the only settlement area, but is there an increase or is it decreasing?
Yeah, people are still increasing. Maybe first give you the short uh, uh, bio of Nakival. So Nakival is one of uh, oldest refugee settlements. So it was established in 1958, and today, right now, I'm talking. It's hosts more than 180,000 people, and that 180,000 people are still coming up to now, precisely from Congo. Yeah, you find the buses bringing more than 5,000 people each and every day.
Hmm. So, which then shows that whatever is happening is not something that's being contained; it's actually increasing, and that is really sad to hear, because when you hear of some of the things happening in the media, there are treaties, there are agreements being negotiated on, and people signing treaties or agreements and all that, and yet we continue to have people still leaving the DRC to other parts of Africa. That is very, very sad. Now, I take it that there are young people and there are children there. how can you describe life for us there on this uh, settlement? Like how do people live? How are they cared for? What happens with food? What happens? Like I know there's winter time and there's springtime and there's summertime. The weather changes, and so what kind of help is provided to people there?
Uh, uh, Thank you for the question. I heard you saying about the agreements like which are being uh, held in Washington as well. So those are just political things. But what I heard on the newspaper, Rwanda and Congo have signed the agreement, and as well in Doha, they are still processing it. But in Doha, they have stopped it, and as well, people, in social media can talk more, but the civilians who are being killed, who are being violated, who are being raped. So what I can say about that, there is nothing new like improvement since uh, they signed the agreements in Washington, D.C. There is nothing like a change which has happened on ground. Today they can sign. Tomorrow you hear that the rebels have taken parts of the country. So when they sign, it the time to take now the part of the country. And also about what you have just said, to share about the life which is here. So first of all, we as people, we are seven of us as leaders, and also other coaches. So in full, we are like 15. We started a group called New Talent for the Best Future. And I strongly believe Dr. Mpindu knows us better. We were teaching conflict resolution skills for our brothers. So we are receiving each and every time, or let me say, the new arrivals at our school. So for now, where I'm talking, I'm in the library, and this library built for our students, so for the community. So as you can see, this is built by some bottles or recycled bottles. It's us who have done it. So, and we are having other classes, 6 classes, which we have built already. And we have already a tank for the students to drink water and also to help us in other sanitation. And also we are having a school garden. That school garden helps us to get some food. I can't really say that life is really good here for refugees because since the corona started, life has become very, very hard.
Mm.
So we were given each and every month monthly ration was at $10, but for now the 85% are not receiving even, but there are those people who are still receiving like 13K is kind of like uh $3 per month, and you find things are still increasing to be heard in the refugee camp. People are not receiving some aid because we are having so many challenges which are here. So the hardship and also families are struggling because of the reduced food rations. Mothers walking long distance uh, to fetch water. So you find a mother from here to there, like let me say like 30 minutes or 20 minutes so that he may find water. So that one has really the all refugees or children because they are the children who are being affected by what is happening because they don't have any clue about what is really happening. So that's why here at school at Italy for the Best Food Center, what we do, those well like the newcomers from Congo, from Burundi, from Rwanda, so we take them and we got them as a family, and that has really uh, helped us to to help at least uh, 100 children here at school. And also,
Mm,
we have also helped for some women. They were also learning here sewing machine. They are learning how to make clothes, and we have gotten 15 of them, and now we are going to have the will be graduated. So those are the changes which we are doing because we can't wait uh, for the UN because the time has been difficult time here in Akival refugee camp as well in other camps here in Uganda. So in simple term, uh, the hardship you can see like children like uh, playing football in the dust, music playing in the evening, and also community also they also gather for prayers most of the time. But the children they don't have what to do because happiness is free and we don't need to buy it. So people are just living the way how they are. But life here in the refugee camp because of of the ration, uh, people have been like stealing other people's properties. So things have really
mm.
changed here in the refugee camp. Thank you.
Just excuse me, just listening to you, it really just highlights some of the factors that most of the time people are not thinking about because I mean this is a lived experience. Like I said earlier, you're not picking this up from a textbook about what it means to be a refugee. You're talking about your own life and how you pretty much left everything behind, and now you are in this place where you are um, not only dealing with the complexities of displacement, but there is a sense of hope that is around you. And you, from what I'm picking up, have become a voice of hope. Um, it's encouraging to see how when we connected several years ago, um, I think I believe you found me on Facebook, and then we started talking, and then we ended up doing some conflict resolution lessons by just a small phone, and the 15 of you would gather around that, and those were really precious moments for me to have you as young people the 15 of you. And I remember after we completed that, there was a graduation, provided the certificates, and there was such a celebration. And you were saying some of you had never graduated from anything. So this was really, really priceless. I mean, that really touched my heart, just in terms of an openness from your end to say, even though we are in such a difficult situation, it's not the end of the world. Now, one of the things that encouraged me, among others, was that after we did what we did with regards to mental and emotional wellness and conflict resolution, you started organizing groups in Nakivale. The mothers, the children, everybody, you started going from group to group and organizing them and working with them over a period of time to share the very things that you had learned. That was so profound. Um, and I just want to thank you for being a voice of hope, even though life has not been glorious for you. And I'm also aware that you are now actively involved in a church. And I know that I believe it's Pastor Tirirepi, Lovejoy Tirirepi, who you have connected with as well. They've been grooming you and equipping you with leadership skills so that you could actually be one of the leaders in that environment. And that is really encouraging. Now, I'm aware that there could be so many limitations with regards to activities and what you can do there. But you guys are not sitting down, wringing your hands and wondering, what are we going to do? You guys are very creative. You are
Sure.
looking for opportunities to do things. Now, could you um, enlighten us on some of the things that you would say, if we had this, or these are some of the things we would like to have so that life is more meaningful for us? What are some of those? I mean, I know that you guys were, putting together mud and cement, and you were mixing that and building a school, building classrooms. That is profound. And I remember even those times when I said, maybe we should have a little bit of something to eat before we start because you have limited resources. And I remember you saying, okay, yes, you can help us with this, but we are going to make sure that we write, we buy our own pens and we write our own, I mean, we buy our own notebooks. And I just really, I was humbled to hear that, because you're not on the receiving end and just saying, we want things to be given to us, but you were saying, we can do something with our hands. We can do something with what we have. And that's a spirit. We want in Africa, and you're displaying that and just saying, we don't want handouts. We want to be able to make life meaningful for us using the resources that we have. And that was very, very encouraging. So would you enlighten us on some of the things you would say you need, so that if other people get to hear about Nakivale, they might say, hey, what can we do to assist in one way or another, so that life is a bit better for you and the rest of the people there? I realize that your camera is acting up here, but yeah, just fill us in terms of what are some of the things that you need in that community so that life is a bit better for you, since you guys have limited resources.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your sharing and also open up and being um, one of our change and being also one of the reason why we are like this right now, and being also part of my change, my mentality, my thinking, and as well to connect me with other people. How and the people we are working with, because what we are doing, this is a community work, and as well a community project that we are doing. And what I can highlight now, we need to expand. We don't need to limit ourselves from where we are. We want the project to expand because even right now I'm talking to, there are some of the children whom they have to uh, get scholarships just around it because our school is a whereby we teach them the basic lessons. So they really want to have at least something which can help up in terms of scholastic materials and also some needs as well. But apart from that, we are also willing project which we are doing here to be implemented to another village, which will help the zone or the village where we shall to also help and to put the programs which we are having here. Those children who are the other side of that village, they can also profit. And also having this situation of uh, what has been really scarce. So we are also having this program of building some boreholes, which can also help the whole community because water is life. And when people are not getting water, because water is not sufficient for the population. So we also like to add where we are to add uh, other classrooms. So those classrooms will be for the children and as well for the community to also help this community we are serving because some of the time of their space like you find we are having so many artists because and so am I. So the children they like drawing, the children they like really uh, also playing piano. We are having one piano and the guitars. So what we are having for now, the classrooms to be added because those sewing machines which we are having, they are not really. So we want them to be added, and the people around us can also it. So apart from that, also we are having this program of recycling the bottles in entire Nativa so that through the bottles we can build a house. And so we have done it. So we want to make Nativa clean and without our listeners we cannot do it. We also having like 1 cup of porridge which we have started like 2 months. So that's 1 cup of porridge. It is also helping the children because you find a kid has come to school without eating, without even a breakfast. So for the kid to start well, it is really hard. It's really hasten. So I've come up with that idea, at least to give them 1 cup of porridge. That's 1 cup of porridge can help them like they can eat that porridge and they feel happy. So we are having that program for 2 days, Tuesday Friday because of some limited fund. So we have limited ourselves from there. But we want that to be also kind of mm, ongoing. Is for them lunch. Why not? So we do also main program like materials for art. So we really need them, and also to go beyond the community to help those new arrivals where they're living. Maybe to give them some mosquito nets, which can really uh, help them, and also to put this ongoing conflict resolution training for the newcomers also. So we do need really more tools, and uh, the people who are listening to us, uh, like that one is is really in short we need. And uh, thank you for that question, Dr. Mpindo Francis.
Thank you very much, Norbert, for sharing this. This is really really helpful to our viewers and our listeners. This is Luvbay Afrobeat Music and Talk Radio. We are here talking with a young man in Nakivale settlement um, camp, which is in Uganda, and he is originally from the DRC. He has been there for a little over 7 years, coming up to 8 years now, and he's helping us to understand the um, the complexities of being a refugee. And he mentioned that there was war and, of course, security, and there still is war in the DRC. And the perennial conflict there has not really helped the situation at all in terms of resolving the situation. He is telling us actually that more and more people are still coming from the DRC to places like Nakivale, which is really, really sad when you think this problem, he calls it a perennial conflict, and he's right. It's been there for a very long time, and the fact that 7 years later we still have people who are running away or fleeing the DRC, going to other parts of Africa to find peace. And he said that peace focus is what everyone has. Um, and so, again, we are really delighted that you are enlightening us to some of the things happening there. I mean, I'm actually surprised. I was surprised to learn that Nakivale camp has been there since 1958, and it's still functional today. And I'm thinking, at what point would our leaders across Africa be able to put their feet, their hearts, their minds together and actually say, let's address these issues so that our young people would have a better future and not continue with conflicts like this. And so he is saying that there are 7 nationalities there. So that means it's not just the DRC. There are others who have fled their countries as well to be in a place like this. And Nakivale is not the only settlement camp or settlement site. There are others, and we need to find a way to resolve these issues. One of the things I find, Norbert, is that when our leaders get together to find solutions, oftentimes they talk among themselves, and rarely, maybe it happens, rarely, but uh, you know, sometimes I wonder, do they actually come up and talk to people like you? I mean, of course, this broadcast is streaming live on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, and so we're hoping that other people will be able to see this and actually say, what can we do about it? So, in your understanding, um, Norbert, we know you're a young man, but brilliant. By the way, you speak French, you speak English, you speak Lingala, you speak Kiswahili. I don't know if there are any other languages. I mean, you are a linguist, and you have done this because you want to be able to connect with other people, and we appreciate such a perspective. But in your own understanding, Norbert, what do you see needs to be done to resolve a conflict of this nature? If you were to go back to the DRC and you were given an opportunity to speak in that big stadium and say, ladies and gentlemen, we have Norbert Biambo Kagosi who is going to talk to us. What would you like people to hear? What would you like people to know in terms of resolving this conflict?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for this wonderful game. And on my behalf, and on my thinking, the way how uh, I think, I strongly believe like we have leaders in all Africa, and Africa needs new direction. Africa needs new people who will really care about its population or the citizens. And those leaders for tomorrow and today, it's it's us to make change. And what I've really found in African leaders, so leaders, uh, they have become or they are really greedy. They really like care about their families. You find president is having kids and children, but those children go and study abroad. Fine. And some of them, when they are sick, they go abroad for treatment. But I don't believe in that case because if African leaders can put their all mind and they say we are going to work for because we the power to the people, and that's like why can't our leaders like the big hospitals, the big cities in the world, it's possible to build them here in Africa. They're the ones like to go maybe abroad, and then that is our own money. So as noble should really come to gaze first of all, because when people understand the Ubuntu meaning, we can do or same thing in the world. So Africa is rich, and from where I'm coming, my country is uh, one of the richest country in the world, but the people are not it.
Hmm.
So and the people have talked and talked and talked, but no solution. Where I'm coming, there are gold. We even walk on the gold. We even sleep on the gold, but the people are not fitting it. It's only those people who are there in the higher or in the government making the city to be worse. But that one is only the mentality of we don't have the humanity, like the leaders not, are not having the humanity in their hearts. So people should come together, and the people, and when people, meaning that there is something which will happen. All what I can say, we really need a new generation, that generation which will come and wipe every mistakes which our parents did. So I've been in Kenya. Oh yeah, I've been in Kenya. I'm here in Uganda. Um, but I've seen like there is a difference. Like let me say where I'm coming from in Kenya and here in Uganda. But all we need, all African leaders, their purpose, the first purpose, they should target their people to put structures, jobs, to create some jobs, and also to finish, because when there is no peace in any country, can really happen.
mm,
So when peace is in the country, so something can happen. That's why all the African leaders, we don't and sit with the president of United uh, of America. We don't need to Arabia, to those Asia countries. So we only need as Africans to discuss our problems. What are the which we are really facing? Because those people, the people don't understand well our problems. We are the ones who are like we have really passed in the problems, and we know the problems, and we also know uh, 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 the solution. But I find the leaders every time go abroad. But there is no any, any solution which has really happened. So we really need change. And that
mm,
change will come from us as young people, and uh, as nobody. I don't need like to go to uh, uh, there is no jobs, there is no job, there is sorry, there are no jobs in DRC or in Uganda or where. So we need to find for our own solutions. We need to create what has really failed also with young people. We have come with this mentality that it's only the government which has for us done something. But we forget that big task to fulfill as young leaders or people. We need to create for ourselves jobs.
mm,
We need to see what can really help us in the future. Like we say now, if we didn't have this idea maybe of helping the community, I strongly believe I couldn't be, you couldn't see this background of books, and we couldn't see them. But what we came to realize, what can we do as we can do something to help the community. And when we are working for the community, it is when the blessings are also coming without you know. Like I can just, even though it is at night, you find a child, me, Kocha Norbert, Kocha Norbert, Kocha Norbert. So that also makes me like to be joyful and to just be happy. So these are the we as young leaders, we don't need and be beggars to because we have known the government how it is. So we need to act, and by acting, we need to create for ourselves what can really help us. So we don't need to go to drugs, uh, like uh, I don't know, being rebels. I don't know, like uh, making other people to be harmed. So we really need to think as young leaders together. We know the problems, then we come for the new, which will be targeted to on people ourselves. So we as young leaders, like we think how the president of Burkina Faso what he's really doing. So he has made some changes in the country. So we also need to follow those things. You find someone is telling you, uh, I'm going like to put for you a thousand of mosques where people will be praying. That's fine, but people will be praying God, maybe hospitals. There are no hospitals. So we need to start with those things which are crucial, not the things
Mhm.
which are only supporting one part. And also the leadership
Yeah.
of one of the countries, uh, you find this one maybe he only want to put his own tribes. So those are the things also which are really making us like stuck on what people are doing. You put people who are not
Mm.
qualified, you put people just from nowhere, and that is how also uh, suffering are also being killed. So, for my experience, I've learned a lot being in Uganda, and I, I don't know when I will go back to my country. That's something I cannot. The changes will come
Mm.
with only us because I have seen, like we as youth, we are now we are now like waking up. So, and we are really trying our community. So that one should
That
also
is that is
be.
really encouraging. It's really, really encouraging to hear this from you, Norbert. I know that, like I said earlier, you are a very creative young man who is future focused, but you are also looking into the present to say what can be done. And I'm just looking at the time here. Our time is up. I know we started late, but our chief engineer gave us a little more time so that at least we would be able to cover all this ground. And of course, we need to wind down in a few minutes. But it's really been a delight having you here, and we should have you back because I know that there are some projects going on, and we definitely would love to hear those updates. We have been talking here with Norbert Biambo Kagosi, who is a refugee from the DRC. settled now in Nakivale, which is in Uganda, and it's really encouraging to see how from such a terrible experience, you are making something beautiful out of this. You know, you are advancing yourself. I know you've had opportunities to attend certain conferences, even some of those organized by Dr. Sebastian, who is in the US and who comes to Uganda every year to bring people together. And you have participated in that. And we're very, very grateful to people like him and many others. I know you have connections from other parts of the world as well. Uh, People who are sympathetic to your situation, but not just sympathetic, but people who are contributing in practical ways to make sure that life is better for you and some of our brothers and sisters right there in Nakivale. And so we are really, really grateful. And so, of course, we are here on Luvbay Afrobeat Music and Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. And we are so delighted that we've had this privilege to have this conversation with you. I'd like to give you a few minutes, just a minute or two, just to wind down or to wind up and tell us and just say, you know what, I've talked about so many things today, but here are some things I would like to leave with you. So think about that and just, tell us what's on your heart you would like our listeners and viewers to remain with, having listened to you. And you have said a lot, and I've been taking notes here, and I really need to make time to reflect and just allow that to sink in. But you are like I said, you are a brilliant young man who is not allowing his situation to depress you that you're not doing anything, but you are active. You are doing some things with your own brothers and sisters there. You are leading. You are one of the co-leaders now, and you are actively involved in the church, in the community. I know that you love football, and every now and again, listen, God willing, one of these days when I come, I'm going to show you some soccer skills, man. I'm going to show you some football skills. Uh, Maybe I'll be learning from you. Anyway, so there are all kinds of things that you are doing with others just to make sure that life is better and is eased out so that people can have a better life. So again, I just want to thank you very much for this time. So just let us know, what would you like us to remember as we finish this broadcast today? What are some things you'd like to leave with us, just in a minute?
Yeah, thank you. Like our listeners to capture because I've already talked so many things. So we should know that peace is priceless, and no one should ever to flee their home. So that
Mm,
is why lasting peace in the Africa and also as well in the world must remain a global and a regional priority. And also solidarity matters, and the empowerment is the key. So refugees need opportunity or opportunities to learn, to work, and to create education, vocational training, and the access to also small thing. The compass is our greatest weapon. So we must
mm,
stop seeing refugees as strangers. We are like they are neighbors, or we are your neighbors, our friends, our fellow human being. And also, anyone can be displaced, It
Mm,
happens to because war does not have a passport. It's
yeah.
it asks for a place to run only because it does not have a passport. It only asks for a place to run. And
Mm,
also, uh, as we come to an end of our conversation, use or to pause by saying, like, think about the faces behind the word refugee. We can think about it, and we just is about the word refugee. Uh,
yeah.
these are not like these are really the real things which are really happening.
Mm.
And
This is yeah. This is really
also,
priceless. Yeah.
yeah, and also they remind us of our shared humanity.
Yeah.
Also, really to come together as a nation, and we shall make a difference.
That's right. You
Thank
know,
you.
yeah, Norbert, we cannot thank you enough for making time to be with us today. We have to bring you back because I know that we had technical difficulties, so we started rather late. But we also want to honor your time and the time of our uh, listeners and viewers as well. So thank you so much. I mean, you have touched on some very, very important aspects here with regards to your message you're leaving with us. You said that peace is priceless, and no one should ever, ever leave home being forced to do so. And you talked about the importance of solidarity, empowerment of refugees, and opportunities to do things and to advance their own lives. You talked about compassion as something that is non-negotiable. And refugees are not strangers. We need to see ourselves in and through them. And then you talked about the reality of displacement. You said anyone can be displaced. So let's not think that we are immune to such, because anything can happen, and you could end up displaced away from your home. And you talked about shared humanity, that it is very, very important that we understand that we are in this together. And Norbert, you have done such a great job, and I just want to thank you on behalf of Luvbay Afrobeat Music and Talk Radio. We're delighted to have young men like you who are not just thinking about themselves, but you're also thinking about others. You are very pan-Africanist in your mind. You're working with all these 7, 8 different nationalities in Nakivale, which is beautiful because it's so easy for us to say, we are from the DRC, we don't relate to anybody else, leave the Somalis out, leave the Ethiopians out. But you are saying you work together, and that is such a beautiful picture. And I can't think of anybody we could have talked to who would have enlightened us the way you did. And I know we had difficulties with technology, but it served us well. We have continued our conversation, and you are still here. So thank you very much for this opportunity to be with us. And we look forward to having you again. And to our viewers, thank you so much for being with us today. This is your host, Dr. FM, here on Luvbay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. And we go live every Saturday on Today's Africa at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. And we trust that you will like the page and share that with others. And of course, you can always go back and listen to some of our previous conversations as well. So again, thank you very much for being with us. Let's continue to be voices of hope in a world where oftentimes, as this young man reminded us, it's so easy to be focused on greed. And he said, this is a new generation, this is a new dispensation. Let's have leaders who are others focused. And he even mentioned the Ubuntu concept, something that we treasure as Africans. But let's just treasure that mentally and and emotionally. But let's display that in our day-to-day lives. Again, so I'm very delighted that you made time to be with us, and we look forward to having a conversation next week. We have another guest. Actually, I should tell you, we have a brother who is a professor in technology, computer science, and has been a lecturer in various places. He has been in the military. He has done all kinds of things. And I trust that you will make time to be with us next week as well. So again, thank you very much. I just want to remind you, right on the hour, we have the Caribbean flavor with Mr. Marcus and Miss Jen to Blue. And you don't want to miss that. So again, thank you for being here with us. Let's continue to be voices of hope. This is Dr.